I'm Gary Rodemeyer with Muhammad Ali. Join me all this week here on Kentuckiana's News Channel for Simply the Greatest, the life and times of Muhammad Ali.
Don't miss it.
Stick him, dance, hook, right cross, uppercut, duck, side to side. Stick him know that Louisville, Kentucky produces the greatest of all time. I am the greatest.
Muhammad Ali arrives at Standiford Field with a suitcase full of pamphlets, passages from the Koran. He is above all these days a missionary for Allah. His fame opens the door for his God. Each pamphlet has the carefully inscribed signature of Muhammad Ali. The autograph makes it more likely the tract will be kept and read by the receiver. If there has been one constant in Ali's life over the past 30 years, it is his dedication to Islam. His life would change forever the day after winning the championship in 1964. He would carry the Koran on the streets of Miami and say, "I believe in Allah. I believe in peace."
Well, I am a minister of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and I have been for the past good 2 years.
The religious conversion came as Ali was reaching the peak of his boxing powers. He was getting bigger, more powerful, and by 1966, contenders were falling at his feet. Henry Cooper, Brian London, Carl Mildenberger, and Cleveland Williams all failed to go the distance. Sports reporters were seeing things in the ring they had never seen before.
In 1964, 65, 66, Muhammad Ali was not only the best boxer I'd ever seen, or still have ever seen, but he was the best athlete I've ever seen. I mean, here you had a guy that was 6'3", weighed maybe 215 or so. I mean, he had physical tools that I've never seen any other athlete have. I mean, the eye-hand coordination, the foot speed, just the combination of strength and agility and confidence. I mean, at that point in his career, there had never been a fighter quite like him.
But in early 1966, there was a fight in a foreign land. American young people the age of Muhammad Ali were bleeding and dying in Southeast Asia. The country was dividing. With the Vietnam War raging, Muhammad Ali was reclassified 1A and eligible for the draft. Now Ali was under surveillance by the FBI and fighting the federal government.
He was very serious about his religion and about not fighting in Vietnam because of his religion. And it was on a WHAS sports program that he really, for the first time, a lot of people had guessed, but he had said, "I got nothing against them Viet Congs." And then it was like a day or two when he refused to be inducted into the military.
A fight in Chicago was canceled just on the basis of the Viet Cong remark. The Kentucky Senate, which had honored him 6 years before, condemned Ali, saying he brought discredit to the state. So Muhammad Ali took his show on the road, fighting in other countries, Canada, Great Britain, and Germany. But finally came a moment of truth, the call for induction into the Army, and Ali's next big battle would be in the courtroom.
Stick him, dance, hook, right cross, uppercut, duck, side to side. Stick him know that Louisville, Kentucky produces the greatest of all time. I am the greatest.
Joe Frazier, the best puncher in the world, against Muhammad Ali, the best boxer. Just listen to the leather fly. Ali wanted his title back, but he faced a man who charged straight ahead, Smokin' Joe Frazier. For Ali's comeback, it was too much, too fast. Frazier would retain his crown. 3 judges were unanimous. The 2 fighters were not cordial. And in this video, they were describing the fight for Howard Cosell on ABC TV. It was a fight that left both men battered. Frazier's face was so swollen, he soaked it in ice water for hours after the fight. Ali went to the hospital for an x-ray of his swollen jaw, but he refused to stay for fear someone would say Frazier put him in the hospital. On this program, those old wounds and bitterness erupted in public.
Why'd you bring up the hospital? I went to the hospital for why you figure on me? I went to the hospital for 2 minutes. Why you figure on me? Man, you know, sit down. Yeah. Sit down, man. Sit down, Joe. Why you think on me? Sit down, Joe. Huh? Sit down quick. Why you think on me? The brothers are here. You doing this too? No. Sit down quick, Joe.
Well, we're having a scene, as you can see, and it's hard to tell whether it's clowning or for real between the 2 fighters. This kind of thing has been going on all along in terms of promotion of the fight, and this time it seems to be for real, because Joe Frazier is really angry. Muhammad called him ignorant, and he's really angry. I don't think this one is clowning at all. It's a bad and an ugly scene, and it's unfortunate, I think, that it's happened in the middle of showing a classic fight between two extraordinary athletes. I think that Ali is probably clowning, but there is no question in my mind that Joe Frazier is not clowning.
It was a public warm-up for the second Ali-Frazier fight, and it was great publicity. The New York Athletic Commission fined Ali and Frazier $5,000 apiece for deplorable conduct. And 4 days later, Ali boxed his way to a 12-round decision over Joe Frazier. But the unified heavyweight crown was waiting in the African nation of Zaire. George Foreman had lifted the title from Frazier with a knockout. Foreman's record was 40 wins, no losses, and 37 knockouts. Still, as Van Vance of WHAS Radio remembers, Ali visited Louisville and was confident he could beat Foreman.
He came here to be interviewed on 11, and while he was here, we said, when you're in Zaire, when you win the championship, are you going to tell everybody you're from Louisville? He said, yes, I am. We were kidding him about that, and the first thing he did, I am once again the heavyweight champ from Louisville, Kentucky.
Muhammad Ali was 32 years old and champion of the world for the second time. But he was now heavier, the workouts more difficult, in the tough world of professional boxing. But Ali would not quit on top of the world. There was more ahead, 17 more fights for an aging champion.
Stick him, dance, hook, right cross, uppercut, duck, side to side. The whole world will know that Louisville, Kentucky produces the greatest of all time.
This was the young Ali, dancing, jabbing, almost unhittable. And here, in the second Sonny Liston fight, the bear is decked by a developing knockout punch. But this is Ali in 1978, 36 years old and slugging toe-to-toe with Leon Spinks. Ali hitting, but also getting hit. He would lose the fight and the championship in 15 rounds. Some said night had fallen on Ali's career. He was out in the dark, but it was really a new morning. The old champion wouldn't give up.
Tell all my fans and friends and brothers and sisters in Louisville that Ali is working. Out here in the morning, 4 o'clock, you see the sun just rising. Go do about 250 exercises, and promise you this time, be light dancing, and I will destroy him.
Muhammad Ali, running in the dark, trying to find the old magic. He liked to run by himself, but he often ran with others because he couldn't say no to friends. In those days, Ali had lots of friends. Most were on the payroll, and they sat with Ali at his Deer Lake camp while he watched the first fight with Spinks. Ali admitted that he was out of shape for that fight and said Spinks got lucky. He made another pledge, or prophecy.
I want to think all about my fans back in Louisville, all of them watching television, all my people, all my friends and fans are watching me. Louisville, Kentucky's king, Muhammad Ali, is coming back to take the crown for the third time. I'm going to wipe him out.
But at his log cabin gym in Pennsylvania, the talking stopped and the hitting continued. In the ring, it was a hot, exhausting, violent business, trying to recapture his punching speed.
Ali had always been known for, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, and he'd go into that shuffle, the Ali shuffle, and stay out of trouble. By this time, he still had it, but he had to fight a lot smarter because he wasn't as fast anymore.
And then the workout would be over. You could look at his face, his sweating body, and tell he was no longer a young man. Afterward, he would emerge from the rustic gym and play to the crowds. The Deer Lake camp became a tourist attraction. Ali took the time to visit with his fans, especially the children. And each day, the only time he would spend alone was prayer time, the trip to his mosque. Ali also knew he needed to lose weight. He hoped to leave most of it on the road.
Yeah, Spinks, you're in trouble this time, boy. Yeah, I'm light. Got my weights down. Doing my shuffle. Oh, yeah. I'm ready now.
One last time, the champion would rise to the occasion. His last win, his last championship, was very near.
Stick him, dance, hook, right cross, uppercut, duck, side to side. The whole world will know that Louisville, Kentucky produces the greatest of all time.
Muhammad Ali came full circle this month, back to the city the place where he learned his craft. They came from the neighborhood, the schools, the businesses that knew him as a young man, an amateur boxer. He sat on a stage surrounded by old friends while WHAS brought back the memories. There was Gladys Carter, a retired third-grade teacher who remembers the student, Cassius Clay.
He had a free spirit all his life. He didn't always do what the teacher said because he was a free spirit, but he was a beautiful student and a lovely child.
The free spirit would become her most famous student and perhaps the most famous face in the world. That face would come into Don Roth's jewelry store in 1960, ready to get his Olympic medal engraved.
Asked him how he wanted his medal engraved. And he told us, and I asked him to take it off, and he refused. He wouldn't take it off. I explained to him that we couldn't engrave it while he was on him, but no amount of persuasion would convince him to take it off. And later on, his mother explained to us that he hadn't had it off since he had won it, that he slept with it, he showered with it, and he just refused to take it off.
What happened to that precious Olympic gold medal? Here's the story that Ali told at the time of the 1984 Olympics.
The funny thing happened. I went to a restaurant here in Louisville, and I got turned down. At the time, we couldn't eat in the white restaurants. I got mad and threw the medal in the Ohio River, and now I wish I had my medal.
The medal is gone, but the memories of that young Olympic fighter still decorate the amateur boxing gyms around town. Ali loved to box, loved to train, and had enormous athletic talent. As his first coach says, nobody could hit the young Ali.
The first 15 or 20 fights, I doubt if they could have hit him with the screen door, let alone their fists.
In Louisville boxing rings, former champ Jimmy Ellis still trains young fighters who hope to follow the legend of Ali.
The young generation is going to always remember him because they knew who Muhammad Ali was. Because, hey, he said he was the greatest, and he proved it a lot of times because he went out and did what he said he was going to do.
Whether he was prophetic or just had the will and determination to back up his statements, Ali's predictions often came true.
But he certainly could back up his words when he got in the ring. I happen to think he's the greatest fighter that ever lived.
I am the greatest. 30 years ago tonight, he would shout those words. And this week in Louisville, he closed his eyes and listened to the fight in Miami. He was the man who lived it and fought them all. He was simply the greatest.
Jabbing with the left, another left by Clay. And all the predictors of a one-round knockout have long since seen their predictions go down the drain.